Kathy here from kathyskutekreations. Today we are going to work on our first AccuQuilt Goal project, and don't forget we're going to use the paper piecing. So I'm going to show you one front, one back, and then I will have additional ones that I will show you. First, let me show you the fabric that I have down here on the table and what we're going to be using that I chose out of those 4 fabrics. I've chose 3 of them. Alrighty, I chose this one that's sort of a green, the pinkish red, and the blue. And this is what I'm going to do. I've sat here and looked at it both directions. Here's my die. This is the one we're going to use. This is our 5-inch, and it's either going to be me doing it this way, which gives me the light, or go this way. And now I'm going to move this off so that you can see. I'll go out a little bit there. Okay, so these are 2 different squares here. Here's one and here's one. My fabric would go right above it and right below it, so you can tell where it's changing colors. Then my next fabric would go up here, and so it's got a gradual changing of colors. And then I can always swap them so that I could be putting these 2 together, but then it'd be a big jump between that one and that one actually. But anyway, so this is the way I think I'm going to do it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold my fabric in half, and then I'm going to lay it down so that it overlaps. And remember now, my die is going this direction, so I want my grain going this way. I don't want it to go straight with the die, because now my grain is going up, but my die pack is going that way. Let me get a ruler over here to show you. So right now this is straight up and down, and it needs to go sideways like that. My fabric has got to go that way, otherwise the grain's going like this and the die is going like that. And we don't want that. We want them going in the same direction. So you take it, lift it up, look at it, find out where it's positioned, so you make sure that all your fabric is on it to overlap it. And this is going to be 6 pieces of fabric now, because I just doubled. Remember, there was 3 to start out with. So I have 3 here: blue, reddish pink, green, and then I have green, reddish pink, and blue. So that's the way we're going to put it in. That's 6 pieces. We're going to put our mat on it. And the mat goes straight with the die, not sideways with the fabric now, straight with the die, because you want to protect it. And then we're going to put it on our machine. All right, I put my machine closer up here, and this is all you got to do. Now, it will not cut the fabric, so I'm going to put it through here. Let me turn it on. This way, because I want my fabric, I have my fabric folded like that. Let's see, make sure y'all can see it here. Slide this off. This is my extra fabric, and here's all my squares. All I gotta do is turn them right side. And now my next decision is what I'm going to use for the 2 little triangles versus the bigger triangle. But I want to go ahead and I want to cut more. So I have these in my color piles here. I'm going to go ahead and snip off this little bit of color here. I don't know if I can get, let's see, you know, I might be able to get another set out of that, and it looks like I can. Okay, let's make sure. Let me get my scissors. So all I'm going to do is just cut this end off here and right there. And the edges off here. Make sure they fit on there just like that. Put that back on. It's got a lot of static. Let's take these off. I'll fix them in a minute. Let's cut this scraggly off again. Let's put it on there. Let's get this way with it. There we go. Put our mat back on, and then we'll feed it through. And there we go. That's all there's to it. And if you were making a whole bunch of 5-inch squares to make baby blankets or something, this would be the perfect die to buy if that's what you were doing. Or even appliquing little things on top of 5 inches, because it becomes 4.5 when you're done. All right, let me go ahead and get this all separated, and I'm going to put it over here by the sewing machine, and we'll continue. Okay, so I have a stack of white 5-inch squares, because you never know when you're going to use them. So they are going to be on the other side of one of my colors. So here's what I'm going to do. The white is a triangle, so it is going to need to be cut into 4 pieces. So I have some stacked up here. I'm not drawing a line. I'm just going from corner to corner using my turn mat. Gently put down my ruler and go again. And then just stack them up just like this. And now what I need to do is figure out what color that I want. So I think I want to go ahead and use the blue for the larger. Therefore, I want to use the pink. I'm going to do half pink and half green. So let's just do this. So let's go 1 and the next color, because that's going to give us 8 of them. And we're going to do, oh, that's it. Wait a minute. I want to do the next 2, don't I? So that was 2. So this is 1, and then a dark one off the bottom here. Okay, because that's going to give us the others. Let me iron them real quick. All stacked up on top of each other the best I can. I'm going to repeat the process because, oh wait a minute, yeah, because these are going to be the pink ones. Then we're going to stack them up. The white ones here. And then as far as the blue ones, they're just going to be split in half. So let's go with a light one. The next color, is that yep, that's a different color. And then the darkest one's on the bottom. And about midway, which kind of all look like they're blended together here. Let's go with 2. Let's see. That looks about like that one, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and then I guess that one there would be the next one, because then there's the darker. Yeah, okay. So let's do these. Let me iron them real quick. And all I did was stack them up as I ironed them. And let's go across, because we only need them split in half, and that's it. All right, so this should be enough to get us started. And we're going to do a front and a back page. That's what I'm going to show you how to do. And hopefully I do it right. That's my big deal, is doing it right. Okay, so this is how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to put the right sides together for starters. So make sure that it's hard to see the white, but I think this is the right side. So we're going to put our right sides together. And this paper, I'm really spoiled by my own vellum paper, because this stuff is hard to see through, so you're going to need a light source. All right, so I've got them together like that. Here's the front. So we're going to put our fabric on the back. So what I do is I hold it up here. All right, you probably cannot even see it. I don't know if you can see through there, but I can see the pink showing through right here. And you want to line it up on that line. So it's lined up there and it's lined up here. Now you can either take a glue stick or you can take a pen and pin it right there in place. Because this is the side that you're going to be sewing on. Because we're going to lay it down like this. Let me put you over here to the sewing machine. I'm going to try to keep all these light sources off of here so you can actually see this. All right. Now, let me get me a tool here, which will help you all see better. So this dash line right here is the line we're sewing on. That's why our fabric is underneath this triangle here. And what I did was I made sure when I held it up to my light that's above me that my fabric is along this line and along that line right there. It doesn't make any difference how much is sticking out here at the bottom. You want to line it up with this. This is your 1/4 inch seam allowance. And you're going to sew down where it says stitch 1 and 2. That's the only place you're stitching. So I'm going to turn it like this because I'm going to stitch it towards me. I'm going to put my needle down. I'm using a 12-inch needle. And I put it, let me see if I can show you where I put it. If you can see it, let me get you closer here. See my foot right here? So you can see that I put it in right on the other side of this stitch line, and it's going to start right there, and then it's going to come all the way down to the end, and it can come off. It's okay. Let me back you up a hair bit here. Okay. Then I'm going to put my foot down, and I'm going to stitch a 1.6 inch length. So I've taken my length down. I'm going to come right off the paper here. I'm going to cut it, and we're going to take a look at it. So you flip it over. Let me back you up a little bit. Looks like I got my fabric off. Ooh, I hope that's not too much. Let me see real quick here, and I'll tell you if I've got to redo it or not. Okay, I do not. So let me back it up here so you can see it. Alrighty, so here's the back side now. And when it's sewn, you open it up like this, and you'll have two pieces. So just take it and smooth it out like this. I went ahead and did it with my hand. You can do it with whatever you want. Once that's sewn, that's not going to be stretching your bias. All right? Now you're going to take the next piece, which in my case is the blue one. You're going to fold this in half like this, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the middle of this fabric right here. So I pinched it a little bit. That is going to face it downward, so your two fabrics are facing each other. And you want to put this right on top of the corner where those two are sewn together. You're going to flip it up and you're going to look at it. Can you see that? I don't know. It's so bad with the light here. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Hold on one second. I'm going to move this camera up. Here we go, a little bit better. There you go. Let me back you up a smidgen. Now you can see the fabric through that other side. Now let me show you this other side. Okay, what I'm doing is I put the crease right here down right where that's at. That's my 1/4 inch. You do not want to come over this way because this fabric won't meet up to the edge up here. So now you can either put a pin in there, which holds it, or you can flip it over like I do. This paper is not going to rip. It's pretty tough. Make sure that the seams, that you can see it. You can see where it's dark right here on both sides. I'm going to lay it on my machine. And let me show it to you. Here it is right here. Now, I pick it up and I look at it. See how the white and the blue are off each other? Take it and just slowly shift it so that the blue and the white match up just like that. Okay? Put your paper back down. Do the same thing on the other side. Well, this side's already doing it. See how they're matching up? And then I take my hand and I feel along here. And I do not want to feel that fabric. And this is just me now. I don't want to feel the fabric on the other side of this line. When I put my hands on that, I want to make sure that fabric is further down here than up there. And the reason being, when you sew this, and I'm going to show you here, it needs to cover that. It needs to look just like that, but sewn. So you don't want this way over here, or it won't cover that end down there. Now, if you need to cover that end, if you feel comfortable, more comfortable seeing that it is covered. Now remember, here's your edge, and here's your edge where the white are. So as long as it's covering that, you're fine. You've got it covered. No pun intended there. Now, if you want, you can pin this. Otherwise, you don't need to. But if you're going to pin it, don't pin it on your sewing table. Get yourself one of these little mats like this. I'm going to show you what I got here. Get you one of these little things right here. Put it underneath there. This way you're not scratching your table. And then take it and pin it just like it was regular fabric, and you're going to pin it 2 places. Once and twice. Flip it over, take a look at it. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? You can see the pin marks. There's a pin mark right there. Here's a pin mark right there. You can, if you want to do all your pieces like this, that's fine. I mean, all you're doing is pulling out your pins when you're done. So let's lift it up here. Go a little closer to the machine. And then just like anything else, you're just going to put your needle down on that line. Now remember, it's the dash line. That's your sewing line. Start it out. Take your first pin out. Your fabric's not going anywhere. You can smooth out just like this was fabric. Come on down the line. Take out the next pin and bring it on down here to the edge. And I come right off that paper. It's not going to hurt a thing. Cut it. Then we're going to take a look at it. Flip it over. Flip this one over here that you just sewed on there. Go ahead and finger press it a little bit. And notice that even though that line is showing, that's okay, because when you flip this over, your main objective is that fabric needs to be in this, because here's your cutting line. Okay, that's the cutting line. I see my fabric, well, I don't know if y'all can see it, but I can see my fabric right here past the cutting line. So I'm going to be cutting that piece of fabric off on this side. Let's see if I can, there you go. You can see it better that way. All right, and that is the first one. Now, this was the front, remember? And we're going to do it now based on the back, and we're going to use the same color. So our pink is number 1. Our pink is going to be number 1, and our white is going to be number 2. Now, it should reverse itself. Let's try it out and see if it does. If it doesn't, we'll have to figure something else out. The first thing you do now, remember, you take your white and your pink and you put them together. And this is kind of hard to look through. So my pink, and you flip it over, is your number 1. So the pink has to be facing upwards. In other words, the pink is going to go first, but make it right sides together with the white, because you know we're sewing them together. So I'm going to put the pink and the white together. This is the back side of the pink, by the way. There's the other side. Put your right sides together. And then you're going to put it up against your paper. Remember, what we're looking for is we're trying to get it up here as close to the line as we can. And if you get it as close to that line, then at the bottom you'll see a little bit peeking out below the cut line. And like I said, if you need to put a little dab of glue on it to hold it, that's fine too, or a pin, either one you want to do. Let's lay it down and let's sew it. And let's see if it comes out right. That's going to be the main thing. I don't know any more than you do, unless you've already done it and you know it's going to work. Then you're one up on me. Let's see. Here we go. Now I'm just using white thread for this project. Let's open it up here, take a look. Okay, so it says front at the top, and this says front at the top. Let me back it up a little bit so y'all can see. Okay, so they both say front. Let's flip it over. And so when the two pieces go like this, are they both in there? Yes. And this is the way they're going to go. As you can see, they are opposites by using the front and the back paper. This is the back. As you can see here, it says back on it. And this is the front that we did. And now we're going to put our blue piece next, which is this one here. But first we're going to fold it. Remember, we're going to try to get the middle center. The middle center? Okay. The center of the fabric, because you want to put it down where these two fabrics, my words are all twisting up, were sewn. And like I said, this is where, if you're going to want to pin it, then let's go ahead and pin it. And I'm going to show you how an easy way to pin it off of this. So let me back you up a little bit more so I can show you. Let's see here. Do you need to be closer? Okay. Now you flip it over and you're looking at number 3, which is the big piece. And you take it off the table. Actually, it goes this way. I'm sorry. 1 and 2, because your fabric is all on this side right now. Nothing's on this side in the way of fabric. See? This guy has nothing. So come off the table, put a pin right in where that, between the seam line. Go over to the other side and do the same thing. Put a pin in. I poke it in and then I pull it back out. Flip it over and it looks good. Make sure y'all can see it. And that's it. Just go ahead and sew it just like we did before. And I'm starting off of the line just like before. Got my fabric started. Go ahead and pull my pin out. And go all the way down the long line. Now this is one of the easiest paper piecings because you have already got the fabric cut to the size you need. You don't have to put an oversized piece of paper on it to get it to work. Now, if you're one of those people that you feel like this is too much skimp on the paper, for example, you're too scared that this paper, that when you get to folding it back, it won't fit. First off, this starts out at 5 inches. When you cut this square down, if you were to make some kind of mistake and you had to actually square it up without just, you know, right now we're just going to iron it. We're going to lay it over and we're going to cut right here along the lines. But let's say that you don't think it worked. Well, instead of cutting it along the lines, if you're really good at squaring it up, iron this and square it up. It's going to be 4 inches. That's all there is to it. It's a 4-inch block. It went from 5 inches, 5 inches to 4. If you feel like it was too skimpy and you need more fabric, just because there are people out there that don't want to get right down to the wire. They don't want to have to worry about it. They don't have to take it back out or anything like that. Then instead of cutting a 5-inch, go ahead and cut a 6-inch. It just gave you another inch to work with in case you made a mistake. You know, if you're new and that's what you want to do and you don't have an electric go, you can do that. This is your project. You can finagle it so that it works for you no matter what the directions are on how to make it. Now let me go ahead and iron both of these and then I'll be right back. Alrighty, so let's pull the paper off because we don't need it. Wait a minute, first we have to trim it. Okay. Let's trim it first. And if you do make a mistake and you don't trim it, by all means, like I said, it becomes a 4-inch block when you're all done with it. So just trim it right to the line. Did I get I got the wrong line. Whew, got the outer line there. There we go. Okay. I'll tell you, one of these little mats is wonderful. But if you don't have a mat, I'm going to show you another way to do it. On the next little block here, there's a little square. Let's say that you don't have this. Okay, so see this little bitty thing right here? First off, let's take this one out because this rotates. Alrighty. So you're going to put it down here. You want it to fit so that you can cut on it. And then we're going to cut like that. Leave it aside here. I'm just going to turn the entire mat. Then I'm going to turn my ruler because this is a little bitty mat. It's not a rotating mat. It's just a mat. And then we're going to turn it this way. I keep getting the wrong line because I'm so used to the other paper piecing. So I didn't cut the right line here. Okay. And then we'll turn it around. And we'll cut it off there. Now, we will take our paper off. And all you gotta do is take your paper and start ripping it. It doesn't want to come off easy. I just do that and it'll start. And then you got 2 pieces here. There you go. There's one. There you go. The paper came off real easy. Now, these are 2 opposites. When I say opposites, if I turn them the same direction, like this, the pink is on the left side, the white is on the left side. Okay, so that's what the back and the forth means. I mean, the back and the forth, the front and the back. So I'm going to make 3 more of these and 3 more of these, and then I will be back and show you how we put them together. Alrighty, here's what one turns out with the white, and then here's what the other one looks like. So you can tell they're different by the colors. Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and put them together. So we're going to pin these 2 together, and then these two together, and up here these two, and then these two. So let me pin them. Now you have to nest them one time on the corner. The other corner won't need it. I'm sewing these 1/4 of an inch. Let's see if I can get it started here. There we go. And I can tell you right now, I like one over the other. I like it when the color fabric goes on the inside. I'm not crazy about the white, but that's okay. You got to do it first before you say whether you like it or not. Go ahead and cut them all apart. And then I'm going to show you how I iron them open. But on these here, I just iron to the side. But when I get done putting them together, then I'm going to iron them open. I'm going to show you the tool that I use. I don't want to nestle this. And remember, this is the thing that has a little where it meets. So I put my pin in here, right there, and poke it out the other end. And what you're looking for is you're trying to get it about right in here. Right in there if you can. Same thing over here. Trying to go in here. Make sure it comes out there. And then I hold that pin straight through before I pin it. And actually, you know what? I might have to do that over because I did not turn my fabric right. Because these have to nestle. So let me pull out the second one. And when I go through there, I want to put it through here. But I want it to come out this other side here. That side. Because the top fabric is going to go to the left. And the bottom fabric is going to go to the right to nestle that seam right there. Then I'll put a pin in here. So I can get one without sticking myself here. I'll go to the end. This doesn't need to be nestled down here. This is just plain. Pin it. I'll pin one more, so I'll just take the one out of the middle there. Go to the end. It does not need to be nestled either. The only one that has to be nestled on this is the middle. Whoops. Like that. And I always put one in the middle. Now we're going to sew this, and then when we get done, I'm going to, when I open it up like this, that seam is going to be turned. Now don't forget, if you need to mark that seam there, remember that little seam right there? If you need to mark it, go ahead so that you stay above that line and you don't lose your tip. not sure if you can even read it. It says the strip stick, www.thestripstick.com. The number is 409-656-3013, made in the USA. And now this one is a little one. And it comes with its own case. I'm going to give you an idea. And I remember what I did with the case. Okay. So they came, I'll put the hook on, so let me take the hook off. They come in just like a hard plastic type thing. They come like this. And they've already got the hole in them, so the hole's there. And then all I did was took one of these shower curtain, which I love. I use these all over my sewing room. And then I hung it up on one of those little command hooks. And so let me show you. It came. Now this came back when I got this. Oh my gosh, and it was so long ago. Because I bought this for seams on clothing. And I can't remember when I bought it. But this little case, this is actually on there. You can't take that off. So it has been finished off with serging. But let me show you the other two I have. They're all a set. Just a sec. Alright, so I left the long one in its package. So it goes from this end of the ironing board. So you can see the ironing board. All the way down to the other end of the ironing board. And then there's the second one and the third one. So like I said, I use them for clothing and things like that for seams. And I've mainly used this one and this one the most. And this one I'm going to use right now, and I'm going to show you how. So I take my little piece of fabric here, and I'm going to open up the seams. So I'm going to use my finger first. I'll just do a little finger press in here just to get it open. Okay. Then I lay it over this. And then I just run my iron over it, gently at first, just to get it open. And then just go around it like that. Flip it over. Now this is already turned this direction. See these seams? They went right up against there. So they don't have an issue. And then I take it and I lay it this away. And then go over the top of it, just like this. And it's going around the bumps, what it's doing. And then that's it. I don't know. First I thought it was pretty bad when I set it there and put it together, but now it's looking all right. I think I like the darker colors in the middle is what it is, but I do like it. It turned out really good. I was surprised when I got it together. So let's start this one again. Smooth it down here with my hands. Just opening up the seams. Go ahead and press the sides, which they've already been pressed. Put on my little stick here. It's going right over the middle of it. Start on the edge, and I just slowly put it on there. Not putting any pressure or anything yet. And then I'll just kind of set it on there. Go back and forth with it. Flip it over. Line it up. Kind of roll it on there. Just go back and forth like that. And there we have it. And there's both of them. So that's what they look like. I call this one the dark one with the pinkish red and the light one. And there they are. They're both done. The back and the front. Okay, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I hope you'll try out this paper piecing. This is pretty nice. And I made a couple other ones to show that if you did not use white, what it would look like. So let me put them out here for you. Here's the ones that I did with total colors, no white whatsoever in it, just to give you an idea of what it would look like. So it has the pink here on the inside, and this is the wheels. Either one, they're both a set of wheels, but and then this one here, with the green on the inside and the pink on the outside, just opposites. There you go, side by side. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you haven't yet and you want to, so you can get some notifications. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.